Hi, this is Chinese Way, your Chinese coach. The characters in Black Myth Wukong all come from Journey to the West and Chinese Buddhist and Taoist myths. These characters are basically divided into six races, known as the Six Paths. After a life ends, the soul will enter a new life form according to its previous life behavior and destiny, and will continue to exist in another form. This is called reincarnation. There are six possibilities for reincarnation, so it's called the sixth path. The first path, ghost. In Black Myth Wukong, Elder Jinchi, Baigu Jing, and Capers belong to the ghost race. Most people and animals will become ghosts after death. Entering the ghost path is caused by greed. Greed includes wealth, sex, fame, food, and sleep. Elder Jinchi is a typical example of excessive greed. In Journey to the West, he was a 270 years old monk. He was greedy for Tang Sanzhang's castle and was finally burned to death and become a ghost in Black Myth Wukong. Most ghosts have bellies as big as basins and throats as thin as pinholes. They can't eat food for years. When they see food, they rush to eat it, but they are never full because their throats are too thin to swallow. When the food is swallowed, the food instantly turns into charcoal and burns through their intestines. They are in such great pain and forever hungry. So ghosts are also called starving ghosts. The word of ghost overlaps with the human word, but they are in another dimension, so we cannot see or touch them. Most ghosts live in dark and dirty places, such as graves, corners, and toilets. Some ghosts also live under trees. The Buddha said, if a tree is taller than a person, there must be ghosts living in it. Generally speaking, the life of ghosts is very miserable. But like the human world, there are also some ghosts whose status and living conditions are much higher than ordinary ghosts. Due to doing a lot of good deeds in their previous life stage, some ghosts have better living conditions and even have some positions, such as keepers. Keepers are called 土地 or 土地公 in Chinese, which means soil or earth gods. They are responsible for managing and inspecting an area, like a community supervisor or village chief. So the keeper of Black Wind Mountain, the keeper of the New West, and other keepers are all ghosts. The high status ghosts have their own house and even palaces. The appearance of ghosts vary greatly. Most ghosts are short, and the smallest ones are only as big as human palm. The tallest ghost can reach 20 kilometers in height. Most ghosts have messy hair and naked and helpless, with withered and sallow color, covering themselves with their own hair. Some ghosts have good luck, just like human, or even as beautiful as gods. Ghosts are born with five basic supernatural powers: 天眼通、天耳通、神足通、他心通、宿命通. This means they can see and hear things at a very long distance, are not physically blocked, move a long distance in a flash, and know what is in the mind of others, and they can see the future. The strength of these abilities varies from ghost to ghost. So we must not speak ill of the dead. They can hear us. Because ghosts have these abilities, some people make deals with ghosts and make ghosts secretly help them, fulfill some wishes, and help them succeed. Such things exist all over the world. For example, raising little ghosts is particularly popular in Southeast Asia. Some people keep ghosts like pets and let them do things for themselves. But none of these are good things, and in the end, heavy prices will be paid. According to the Buddhist scripture 俱舍论, the average lifespan of ghosts is 500 years, and the time in the ghost path is different from that of humans. One day in the ghost path is 1 month in the human world. So, calculated the lifespan of ghost is 50,000 human years. So, if we are controlled by greed and enter the ghost path after death, it will take 15,000 years before we can enter the next stage. How can we judge whether a person entered the ghost path after death? It can be judged by the temperature of the corpse. When a person dies, the corpse slowly cools down. When the whole body has cooled down, but the knees temperature is slightly higher, you can feel a little warmth in his knees. This indicates that person's consciousness leaves the body from the neck. This is a characteristic of reincarnation into the ghost path. In fact, you don't need to touch the corpse because most people are controlled by greed. If you are not an extremely evil or extremely good person, the places you are likely to go after death are the ghost path and the animal path. The second race, animal. There are many animals in Black Myth, Wukong, and Journey to the West. Monkey, pig, spider, centipede, snake, tiger, and so on. Like humans, animals can obtain supernatural power and become immortal through cultivation. When they obtain supernatural power but have not become immortals yet, they are called 妖怪. Most of animals in Black Myth Wukong are in 妖怪 form, such as Hongyi, the fourth sister, sheepdog, in tiger, and so on. There are some special kind of animals that do not live in the human world and are not even in the same dimensions as humans. For example, long and the golden-winged great pond that appear in both Black Myth and Journey to the West. Although long and pond are also animals, they are not fetus or egg-born like other animals. Moreover, long and pond are born with supernatural powers. The animal path is where we humans are likely to go after death. The reason why people are reincarnated as animals after death is 愚痴. 愚痴 means have no wisdom, being unable to distinguish right from wrong, and being easily deceived by some illusory things, and not being able to see further and deeper facts. For example, being addicted to video games, pursuing luxury goods, alcoholism, drug use, and so on. Some animals have good living conditions because of the merits calculated in previous life. For example, pets. Some pets eat and live better than humans. They don't need to work and don't have to pay credit card every month. But of course, the lives of most animals are very miserable. For example, sparrows need to keep looking for food so as not to starve to death. There are even more miserable animals such as pigs, chickens, Ducks raised by humans. They are locked in small cages from birth until they are slaughtered. Animals can cultivate to become immortal, just like humans, but it is much more difficult for them. The first reason is that animals are busy surviving and they have short lives, so they have no time to cultivate. The second reason is the animals are too stupid and have much less wisdom than humans. The third reason is that animals have an extra step in cultivation compared to humans. They need to cultivate into a human body first and then cultivate to become immortals. Before becoming immortals, they are called 妖怪. 妖怪 are discriminated against. In China, the job of the Taoist priest is to kill 妖怪. In Journey to the West, many 妖怪 were killed by Sun Wukong because they ate people. Well, people eating animals is considered natural. So we'd better not enter the animal path after death. Although the lives of ordinary animals are not very long, range from a few weeks to several decades. After that, they can enter the next reincarnation and enter a new life stage. But I have another story. At that time, people were building a school for Buddha. Buddha couldn't help but laugh when he saw a nest of ants in the place of the construction site. The disciples asked him what he was laughing at. Buddha said, that when I came to the earth millions years ago, they are already ants. After such a long time has passed, they are still here. This is not because their lifespan is long, that's because after they die, they are repeatedly reincarnated as ants. This is the stubborn of saying. They are convinced that the body of ants is themselves. They never want to get rid of this body. This is the stupidity of the animal path. So, once we enter the animal path after death, it will be difficult to get out. But how can we know whether a person entered the animal path after death? It can also be judged by the temperature of the corpse. When one dies, the whole body has cooled down, but the body temperature is slightly higher. When we put our hands on the body of a corpse, we can still feel a little warmth. This indicates when this person's consciousness leaves the body from the belly from the stomach. This is the characteristic of a reincarnation into animal path. In the next video, we'll talk about other paths in the sixth path. See you again. Follow Chinese way, learn Chinese the Chinese way, the Japanese way.